Hello and Mingalaba, welcome to Myanmar Today. I am Henry Zin with the latest news and reports from around Myanmar. Williamson brings us a first report on mid-year gems Emporium that hits over 500 million euros. Algajo's coverage on Israel supports Myanmar's agricultural innovation. Dora Swezin covered the story on the House of Clean Waste pilot project in Kyauktada. Before we get to the reports, let's check on some local news. The Myanmar delegation led by Ujor Dinsway, Union Minister for the Office of the State Councillor, attended the opening session of the general debate of the 74th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York on Tuesday. The Myanmar delegation comprises Union Minister for International Cooperation Ujor Din, Permanent Representative of Myanmar to the UN U Hao Do Swan, and the Myanmar Ambassador to the United States U Aung Lin. The session opened with statements by the UN Secretary General and the Chair of the Assembly. Leaders from 37 countries, including US President Donald Trump, delivered statements on the first day of the Assembly. The general debate will be held from 24th to the 30th of September, and Union Minister Ujor Dinsway is scheduled to deliver a statement at the annual general debate this Saturday. Union Election Commission Chairman Ulla Tain received Swedish Ambassador Stefan Hestorm at the UEC office in Naypyidaw on Wednesday. During the meeting, the leaders openly discussed the implementation of the Strategic Plan 2019 to 2022 for successfully organizing the 2020 general elections, ensuring inclusivity for 18-year-olds voting for the first time, ensuring domestic migrant workers and IDPs to be able to exercise their right to vote, conducting electoral education programs, organizing advanced voting processes, and right to vote for citizens working abroad, and increasing women participation in the election process. A coordination meeting for discussing more effective responses to the natural disasters and better cooperation of the relevant ministries and states or regions was held at the Ministry of Social Welfare, Relief and Resettlement in Naypyidaw on Wednesday. At the meeting, Union Minister Dr. Wimya A said countries around the world, including Myanmar, are suffering from the global climate change and that it is important to set up mechanisms for disaster management and response among the ministries and states or regions' governments. He also advised the previous plans to be reviewed in accordance with the changing types of natural disasters and modern technologies. After 2008 Cyclone Nargis, Myanmar adopted plans to address the 9 natural disasters under the categories of urban fire, forest fire, flood, earthquake, storms, tsunami, and more. And that's all with the local news, and we're moving on to our first report. 2019 Mid-Year Gems Emporium, which began on 16th of September, came to its final day on Wednesday at Mani Yadana Jade Hall in Naypyidaw. The event organizing committee held a press conference and stated that gems and jades worth 506 million euros were sold at the event through open tender system. The event also attracted more foreign merchants from abroad than the previous Emporium. Williamson reports.
2019 Mid-Year Gems Emporium, which was held from 15th of September at Mani Yadana Jade Hall in Naypyidaw, came to its final day on 25th of September, selling gems and jades worth over 500 million euros during the Emporium. According to Myanmar Gems and Emporium Central Committee, the Emporium attracted more merchants than the previous years, and it also saw the increased interest from the Western countries as well. In this mid-year Emporium, 7,811 jades and 481 gems were on sale, which the committee sold through open tender system. 6,845 jades out of 7,811 were sold at the event. 40 gems out of 481 were sold respectively. The event organizing committee held a press conference on 25th of September. Speaking at the press conference, U Min Tu, the chairman for Myanmar Gems Emporium Central Committee, said,
According to the overall result of the Emporium, we can say that we have sold more gems and jades than the previous year. We see the increased number of jades on sale and also the increased number of merchants who came to the Emporium. When it comes to sale, we see the merchants would pay higher price than it is expected if the gem's quality is good. But if the gems have less quality, the market is a little bit down as well.
ကျွန်တော်တို့ highlight နည်းနည်းလေးပြောချင်တာတော့ကြောက်စိမ်းပိုင်းကတော့ပုံများလာပါတယ်။ကြောက်မြက်ပိုင်းကတော့ဒါပုံမှန်အနေထားပဲရှိပါတယ်။
In terms of the sale, we see the increased number of jakes being sold, but for gems it remains the same, no different from the last year's Emporium. When it comes to the number of merchants who visited the Emporium, last year we had only about over 2,800 persons, but for this event we have 3,299 foreign merchants. We had an advertisement program in the website and other areas for this Emporium, which might contribute a lot in attracting many merchants from abroad. At the same time this year, we also have more gems and jades on sale, many of which have very good quality. We were a bit worried that we would not have attracted this amount of merchants due to roadblock at Northern Shan State. However, we were able to negotiate on payment system for gems and jades, which actually made the merchants come to the Emporium.
Speaking on the future market of gems and jades in Myanmar, Umindu also explains.
နာဂတ်လာလာတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီတူဖော်မှုတွေကိုတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့က short ချ
In terms of mining gems and jades, we reduce the amount of mining, which includes environmental conservation in mining areas. Basically, we make sure that the mining industries follow the rules and regulations so that we can have systematic mining, which is helpful in preserving the environment. We are also working on making sure that we get the best price out of all the gems and jades, and then proper tax for its market as well. We will also keep on supporting some private companies' Emporium, and we are also working on being able to transport gems and jades by flight, ship, and land. Overall, we want to build a market for gems and jades which can be accessible easily and expand the market widely.
Speaking to MI Radio, Usang-win from Mijina, a retailer who sold variety of gems at the Emporium, said,
ပထမဆုံးခောက်ဆိုတော့လေနော် As this is the first time for us displaying the items, it is not the matter of whether we are selling a big amount of items or not, but we have learned a lot from this Emporium, and we are now know what the customers want to buy, and as this is organized by the government, we decide to come at any cost. But the result is not bad at all. It is worth coming here. I got to learn so many things, and through this event, I have come to learn what to sell and how to sell in the upcoming event like this.
This is Williamson reporting for MI Radio from Nebiro.
That's a report on mid-year gems Emporium that hits over 500 million euros. Right, we'll move on to weather forecast now. In Yangon, it's going to be mostly cloudy, showers around mainly late in the day, and it'll just be partly cloudy at night. The daily outlook is around 31 degrees Celsius high, but it's going to feel like 38 degrees Celsius. There's about 97% chance of rain for the day. In Nebiro, it's going to be mostly cloudy, a thunderstorm or two in the afternoon, and it'll be partly to mostly cloudy at night. The daily outlook is around 30 degrees Celsius high, but it's going to feel like 37 degrees Celsius. There's about 62% chance of rain for the day. In Mandalay, there's going to be times of clouds and sun, a brief shower or two during the day, but there'll be partly cloudy, a thunderstorm in spots late at night. The daily outlook is around 33 degrees Celsius high, but it's going to feel like 39 degrees Celsius. There's about 61% chance of rain for the day. Stay with us, we have a report from Akajo, and then we'll check on the stock and currency exchange rates. An Israeli agricultural specialist came to Myanmar to share Israel's innovative technology in the agricultural sector. The seminar took place at Myanmar Paddy Producers Association at the UMFCCI in Yangon on Wednesday. Ambassador of Israel to Myanmar, the members and entrepreneurs of Myanmar Paddy Producers Association attended and discussed the challenges the Myanmar agricultural sector is facing.
The Israeli agriculture specialists came to Myanmar to share Israel's innovative technology in agricultural sector. The seminar took place at Myanmar Paddy Producers Association at UMFCCI in Yangon on Wednesday. Israel plays a significant role in driving Myanmar agricultural innovation, and this is part of the bilateral deal between the two countries signed early this year. For more on the seminar, the agricultural scientist explained more.
To adapt them to the local conditions. In other words, I don't think you need everything. Everything we have to adjust to the local conditions to make it as simple as possible so the farmers can easily apply it. And this is the main challenge, to find good technology, to apply it in a simple way. And that's what we are trying to do in Cambodia, so it will be easier to generalize the systems.
The Embassy of Israel in Yangon initiated the Israeli demonstration and research plot at the Beijing University in August 2017. The main idea of the plot is to enable students and faculty members with the modern Israeli agricultural state-of-the-art technology and best practices, mainly water management and drip irrigation. The plot includes a 384 square meter greenhouse with cooling system, shading, and irrigation, and a 1.4 acre drip irrigation system for the demonstration and research farm. Ambassador of Israel to Myanmar explained more on the project, which is part of the bilateral deal for the time being.
The demonstration farm that we have in Beijing University for the irrigation, drip irrigation, and the greenhouse. And we are looking forward to arrange a curriculum for the students in the Beijing University in order to understand more about those technologies and to live with the technology. When the technology is going ahead, for them it's going to be a good, an important opportunity to go ahead. Also, there are students who are going to Israel for Myanmar, for agro studies and for courses of some weeks in many and variety of sectors in the agriculture.
Agriculture in Israel is very well developed and modernized, as is widely known. Even though there are differences between agriculture in Israel and in Myanmar, there is a great potential for cooperation. Such cooperation can be applied both in the public sector and in the private sector. In the public sector, there is already transfer of know-how and experience from Israeli experts to professionals of Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Irrigation, and some organizations. Israeli experts conducted some trainings in advanced irrigation systems adjusted for the dry zone in order to improve the usage of water, save energy, save fertilizers, save pesticides, reduce environmental hazards, and improve yields. Woo Seng-Wen Lai, chairman of Myanmar Paddy Producers Association, explained.
Myanmar is rich in water resource, land, and has good weather. For the agriculture production, we need to have adequate water, seed, land, and technology. We have enough water while Israel has struggled with water scarcity. However, we can learn a lot from Israel, who is best managing its very small amount of water resource available in the region. We can learn the drip irrigation method from them to improve the agricultural production.
Myanmar has been cooperating with Israel to adopt Israel's innovative agricultural know-how. Myanmar also sends students and trainees to Israel every year to learn the innovative agricultural technology. In the private sector, Israeli companies are introducing irrigation equipment and techniques and are involved in projects to improve yields in various plantations, to establish dairy farming, and more. Israel is a major exporter of fresh produce and a world leader in agricultural technologies, despite the fact that the geography of the country is not naturally conducive to agriculture. This is Agajo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on Israel supports Myanmar's agricultural innovation. And here we have the information on currency rates from Myanmar Central Bank. $1 is at 1,532 kyats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 215 kyats. €1 is at 1,685 kyats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,905 kyats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,112 kyats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 365 kyats. 1 Thai baht is at 50 kyats, and the Indian rupee is at 21 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,509. Silver is at $18, and Brent crude oil is at $56. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI remains at 12,000. MTSH remains at 4,300. MCB dropped 100 at 8,400. FPB remained at 26,500. TMH remains at 3,050. You're watching MI Radio's Myanmar Today. Go ahead and log on to our website, miradio.com.mm, and listen to our radio programs live on the website. We're also running on FM 96.1 in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Or you can simply download MI Radio app on your smart devices so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. Just type in Myanmar INTL Radio and you'll see the app appear right on your screens. So go ahead and download it and make sure it stays on your phones. Well, here's the last report on the House of Clean Waste pilot project in Kyauktada. Do Ain has started a project called Clean Waste House, which is the project of segregating organic waste in Kyauktada Township in collaboration with Pollution Control and Cleansing Department of YCDC. For all I know, organic waste which is thrown separately will be deposited to fermented soil. Why don't we find out more with Dora Suizin?
Do Ain, in collaboration with Yangon City Development Committee (YCDC), is to start the waste segregation project in Kyauktada Township. They are to place the House of Clean Waste, where the residents can throw the organic waste, at the back street on the upper block between 35th Street and Mahabandula Back Street.
So the project is about waste segregation and to decrease the number of waste on landfills. That's the main aim for this project. The House of Clean Waste is a structure that's going to hold the organic waste for a certain period before it gets recycled. So communities will have access. It will be a manager of this house who's going to control and manage the organic waste. And the communities can come from a certain time of the day and deposit their organic waste in order to be recycled every day.
In this project of Do Ain establishing the trash house for segregation of wet waste in the back streets, we Pollution Control and Cleansing Department of YCDC are to collaborate with them in spreading the awareness to the community. Waste segregation system will be getting successful depending on the interest of the public. So we have to spread the awareness about waste segregating through media and social platforms. So we are also to continue knowledge sharing sessions in the schools and the community as well.
Some other organizations are also to collaborate for this project.
All these community members coming together and then them sharing with us their ideas for how to recycle and how to manage the waste in the communities. So then using that information to then develop a process that is suited to the communities when it comes to recycling.
The residents can throw the waste every day from 2 to 5 p.m. and Bokashi Myanmar will collect the waste to manufacture the fermented soil.
Bokashi Myanmar is working with the organic waste part of the renovation of this alleyway. And recycling can be wet and it can be dry. Most wet waste is made up of food waste. And with the food waste, you can make fantastic soil. And this is what we're doing. So the team working here are going to separate the organic waste, the food waste, from the other waste, or the household. will separate, and the team here will make sure that the food waste goes into special airtight barrels where it will be fermented. And after a couple of weeks, we can then convert that into this fantastic compost. And this is what we want to see happening in Yangon, that food waste is not going to landfill, it's being converted into beautiful soil. Because here we can grow new food. We can grow tomatoes, we can grow anything you like, gourd, pumpkins, everything, flowers. If you think about the waste stream in Yangon, 3/4 of the waste is actually organic, and this is crazy. This should not be going to landfill, because there it is creating methane gases and creating huge problems. So we want to see it go back to the soil so we can grow new food for the future.
The less waste YCDC has to manage, the more waste we can take care of and not end up on the landfills. The cleaner cities you will have, the cleaner streets, the healthier places, where the healthier Yangon you're going to have. We're going to take a period of trial for this trial process, and we're going to study and analyze the entire process and the success of it. And how we can do better. So for the next phase, I think we still need to wait.
By separating the organic waste, which is the wet waste, from dry waste, which is recyclable, the number of recyclable items will be increased, and it will add the value for that. At the same time, the organic waste can also be recycled to obtain the fermented swine. The increase of recycling process will reduce the amount of waste deposited on the landfill. That's all for now. This is Dora Susan from MI Radio.
That's all the reports we have for today. Well, we got a few more international news here, so let's check them out. Turning to the trade war between China and the US, the Chinese government says it will support companies that import American agricultural products such as soybeans and pork. The government also said that the Customs Tariff Commission will continue to exclude those products from its tariffs on American goods. The development came after the US recently released 3 lists that exempt additional tariffs on over 400 types of Chinese products. Trade talks between China and the US resumed in September in a sign of eased tensions. Negotiators for the two countries will meet again soon in Washington to continue their talks. In other news, Italian authorities have closed roads and evacuated mountain huts after experts warned that parts of a glacier on Mont Blanc could collapse. Officials said about 250,000 cubic meters of ice are in danger of breaking away from the Plampensue Glacier on the Grand Jurassic Peak. The mayor of the nearby town of Coromaya said global warming was changing the mountain. The Mont Blanc Massif is Western Europe's highest mountain range. It has 11 peaks above 4,000 meters in France and Italy and attracts hundreds of thousands of tourists every year. On Tuesday, Coromaya Mayor Stefano Mazzaracchi signed an order closing roads in the Val Ferret on the Italian side of Mont Blanc after experts warned that a section of a glacier was sliding at speeds of 50 to 60 centimeters per day. And that's all we have on Myanmar Today. Catch the show broadcast on MITV every evening, Monday to Friday at 8:30. Alternatively, you can join me on MI Radio from 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m., 1 to 1:30 p.m., and from 7:30 to 8 in the evening. We'd love to receive your comments and messages, so don't forget to drop them on our Facebook posts. We'll be back with more news and reports. Thank you for joining us. I am Henry Sin. Have a great day, everyone.